let me introduce again Tim Zant as our chairman.
Well, thanks for coming out here today. We're really, really excited about this conference and about this competition. It's going to be the highlight of the semester, I think, campus-wide. At least I'd like to think so. But I'd like to know right now, who is a student in the business, like a business major? Okay, now put your hands down. If you didn't, so who's a non-business major? If you're in the fine arts, yeah, there you go. Okay, if you're in fine arts, raise your hand. If you're in math and sciences, raise your hand. Oh. What's the other ones? Social sciences. Sorry, that's my bad. Awesome. Did I cover everybody, everything? Okay, then what are you in? Biology? Sciences? Okay, good. So that was just for me to know who is here and kind of what kind of group we're picking up. This is not a business, solely a business event. I mean, we're opening up this to every major and every person on campus. There's a lot that can be gained from this competition, and we're really excited about it. So first off, I just wanted to go through some of the things that were just the schedule of the conference and what we're going to be doing. And this is going to go right along in the packets that you've got. Every team should have a packet. If you don't, raise your hand. And we're out. So we'll print some more off for you. We didn't think this many teams would show up. So we'll have more printed at the Willis Center if you just go by tomorrow or the next day to go pick them up. That'd be great. Okay, so we're just going to go through your packet basically. First off, talking about these workshops, this is the first of 4. Now these workshops aren't going to give you your business plan. You're going to have to do a lot of work outside of these workshops to be able to get up and running and to go. Okay, our first one. So regardless if you have a business plan right now or not, if you have an idea or not, we've developed it in such a way that if you go through the course, if you take your time and work and spend some time with the mentors and they help you with a plan, that regardless of when you get your idea, you'll be able to come to these workshops and they'll all be valid and they'll all have some great things to teach you about. So the first one, this next week, February 7th, in this room at this time, we'll be talking about financials. We'll show you exactly how to do it, what to do, what not to do. We've got some really, really great financials this year as compared to last year. So we've got to have you there for that. Our next one, February 28th, is problem-solving skills, things we need to do as entrepreneurs, as business people to solve the problems that we come up with. I mean, you're always going to have a problem. How do I negotiate a deal? How do I get patents? How do I do this? And so we're going to have an excellent speaker come there and talk about problem-solving skills and problem-solving within a business. Our last one will be on March 14th, presentation skills. Now, at that time, we haven't told you this, but at that time, we will already have those that will be going forward into the semi-final rounds, but we invite everybody there. And so we do want you all to be there and to participate at that. Okay. February 7th, February 28th, we'll be here at 7 o'clock. March 14th, we'll be in the Little Theater. Okay, so our deadlines for our plan. March 6th is our deadline. You can start marking that in your calendars, and that's the day you highlight and you just dread from here on out. Because it's going to take a lot of work, but it's going to be extremely enjoyable. So we need the plan done by 5 o'clock. And we need a hard copy to the Willis Center. These are all points in your packet. Hard copy to the Willis Center, electronic copy by Canvas. We're going to take all of you that have registered and put your names up and your student IDs. We're going to add you to the Canvas list. So don't worry about that you're not on Canvas yet. So that's March 6th. March 15th, so in that time, from March 6th to March 15th, we're going to be sending, there'll be the preliminary round. We'll send all your packets off, your business plans, to judges from off the island, to people around the world and that are successful in business, and we'll bring them back. So by March 15th, you'll know who's going to be there. For sure. Okay. as the competition goes, our preliminary round is that first round where we're not going to do anything. We're just going to send the plans off to the judges, and then we'll get them back. That's the preliminary round. Our semifinal round will happen on March 20th at about, I believe it's like 3:30. And we'll go and you'll go and you'll be in your teams. We're going to have 3 different categories. We're going to have international, domestic, and social entrepreneurship ventures. Okay, when you're divided into your room, we're going to take the top 8 teams. You'll be divided into your room. You'll have 7 minutes to present. You'll have 5 minutes of question and answer. We will stop you and we'll have a buzzer. And only the judges will be asking you the questions. You don't have to worry about a friend who's trying to punk you in the middle of the thing and ask you a question you can't answer. Okay, so it'll only be the judges that'll ask. Visual presentations, only PowerPoint. I haven't even thought about Prezi, but I think Prezi's fine. PowerPoint is more professional, I'd say. In this kind of setting, you have to think about your audience. And any other visual presentations, if you have a product or something, just come ask us at the Willis Center and see if you're allowed to present that in front. It just depends on what it is. The final round will happen the very next day. Winners will, or those that are selected to the final round will know by that night that they presented. So March 20th, that evening, you'll know. And so you can be prepared to come March 21st for the final round to present. And everybody's invited. We want everybody to come there, and you'll hear all the top business plans of the school at that time. So as of right now, does anybody have any questions? With the workshops, the deadlines, the competition. It's okay. I'm not that clear, so yeah.
The semi-final round will be here then, the judging will all appear here in Aloha Center?
Yes, I didn't say that. So yes, the judging will happen here in Hawaii, here in Laie, here on campus. Okay? So yeah, we're bringing oh, it's so cool. We're bringing some fantastic judges over this year. We have our keynote speakers, like Brother Tanner said. We have Gary Crittenden and Mark Willis come, and so with these caliber of men, we have to bring in just as good caliber to bring in and judge, and so that these men are really excited about this conference. So we're doing everything we can to get just the very best here for you guys. So this is why we're putting so much emphasis onto these workshops to get you guys up to the level of bringing your business plans up to par and stuff. So prizes. There is money involved in this, okay? We're actually, the Willis Center, and through sponsors and donors, have said that we can give up to $30,000 for prizes. Now, the $30,000 will be split into the 3 categories, so $10,000 per category, and kind of so forth. There is a section on there, or sorry, yeah, go.
Just with the prizes, I was wondering, like, I'm assuming, of course, the money has to be spent on the business plan, if one, but is there like a time gap on when you need to actually start the business or anything like that?
No, in fact,
like if you win, could you wait like a year before you start actually implementing it if you're too busy now?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that have things in the past and things that are happening now, but if you go read the, so I'll show you.
Oh, so it'll be talked about, so.
No, it's good. I mean, so what it is because
let me answer that just
he's a better person to sell.
Let me tell you the specifics on that. It actually is a prize. A couple years ago, we actually made you turn in receipts so that we knew and would give out part of the prize money, turn in receipts, then we gave you the other part. We're not doing that. So whatever people win, you get it paid to you. We say that you should use it for your business, but we're not going to be auditing what that is. So, and in specifics for our international winners, some of you that are here on a J1 visa, you are actually not supposed to start a business in America. So what we want international people to do is to get literally geared up so that as soon as they return back to Papua New Guinea, they can start their new business. Okay? But literally you're not starting it or running it in the United States. Doesn't mean you couldn't have started it back in your home country, but we want to make sure.
talk about the money that's withheld.
Okay, and then one other thing so that nobody's surprised, for most international students, these are requirements by the government, not us. Typically, for international students, we're required to withhold like 30% of your prize money, okay, until you file a certain tax return form that works with your country and the U.S. So just be prepared. If you happen to win $3,000, you would have a third of that, or 30% of that held back, okay, if that's your case. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get it. You just have to apply and go through the tax return process. Does that answer where you're going on that? But we truly want you, if you're an international student, to be focusing potentially in a job or a career job creation that you're doing back in your home country if you can. You're not required to, but you really cannot. If you're a foreign student on a J1 visa, you're not allowed by your visa to start your business here. Okay?
How about if you partner with the American students?
If you partner with them, again, if you're on a J1 visa, you're not supposed to be employed by anybody except as a student employee while you're here. In other words, you're supposed to be focusing on your education with some student employment. So you may be partnering, but technically and realistically, you're not supposed to be paid except as a student employee until you finish your career. So I'm just going to keep it what the law says, and I'm not going to comment any more on that, but you need to do what's proper and gear up for that.
What about F visas?
About what?
F visas?
I am not an expert on this. I just know about the J1 in particular.
F is the same.
Is F the same? Works the same? So maybe that's what you're... But you know what? There's nothing wrong with getting really geared up, or maybe even having somebody back home get something started that you're partnering with. It's just you don't want to do something... We'll try and find out further on that and talk about it maybe in one of the workshops a little bit more. Is that okay? I don't want to take away all of what we're doing, but there is some technical issues. I want to throw out one other thing that's in here just so you're aware of this. There's sometimes been a concern as to, do I share this with all of my team? Say maybe one person really thought of more of the idea and she thinks, so I should get all the prize money. If you truly, between you and your teammates, if you really feel all the money is to go to one person who came up with it, you need to put that with your request to us. But primarily, we will plan, if there's 3 people on your team and you're a winner, we will divide your prize up into 3. Unless you pre-mention to us, all of it goes to this person.
In writing.
In writing. You have to tell us in writing that all the prize money goes to one person who administers it.
Before the competition starts.
Yeah, well, before they submit your plan. Okay?
Yep.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Any other questions?
I don't have a Islamic studies answer, but how many are you allowed to submit, and are you allowed to be in more than one group?
Yes. You can be in, I believe it's up to 2 groups for the competition. Okay? Doesn't mean you can't go and be a part of another group outside of the competition. Like if you have a best friend and he's got his own company, you're already in 2, you can still help him do whatever you want, but you just, for the competition reasons and the purposes of the competition, only in 2. Is that okay? Sounds good? But it's just a lot of work though. Anything else? Okay. Oh, also when you do win the prizes, there's a paragraph there, the last paragraph under the prizes, talks about almost like a 1-page letter that we'd like you to submit, because honestly this money has been given to us by wonderful people that have just given this money to us for this competition. It's not just, it's not using your tuition money for this purpose. So when we get this $30,000 and we were able to distribute it among you, we really would like you to say thank you and to say what this competition has done. I mean, if this competition doesn't do anything for you, they might stop that. I don't know. So we want you to keep just telling them thank yous and just being really appreciative of what they've done for us. And so that's part of that. So for your teams, you can be have up to 4 members on your team. We have to have at least 50% of BYU students. BYU students, part-time or full-time. The idea is you have to have at least 6 credits per semester. You have to be enrolled in this semester. Okay? You must be a major stakeholder in the company. You can't partner up with your two friends, and your dad is on there as well on your competition, but he owns 100% of the company, and you just want to make some money for him. We can't do that, okay? So we need you to be a major stakeholder, and also on there, it'll come up later. Okay, major stakeholder, previous winners. So there are some amazing previous winners to this competition that have gone on and done some great things. I was going to say J-Sport isn't one of them. There's the Empanadas, there's the Taco Vincente, there's the Akin who did some great stuff. Scooterville, they've done great stuff. Okay, awesome. We love that. That's great. But previous winners can't compete with the same plan. So you can't just stay here for 4 years and just crank out business plans. The same thing, making it better and better. Okay. So in your equity now. So between your team members, those that are in the competition, okay, you have to have over 50% of the management positions. That includes CEO, CFO, COO, president, founder. Or, you have to have over 50% of the positions, okay? And you must own more than 25%, okay? Capital.
BYU students.
Yes, the BYU students, okay? As for capital, we can't have anybody that's grossed more than $225,000. Okay, we can't have a multi-million-dollar kid come in here and present a plan. Okay. Also, if you've received more than $10,000 in venture capital or angel funding, you can't compete. We just want to keep everybody on the same page. Okay, venture or angel investments or venture capital is a professional firm that's what they specialize in doing. Good question. Any questions?
When you term revenues, which share do you see?
That involves Kickstarter, that involves Indiegogo, that involves sales, that involves, if you got it.
Annual sales, no more than 25,000.
Yep. If you're doing 25,000 though, you're doing great.
Total.
Total, yes. Total.
That was 3 years ago. It's not a new venture anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but if you're doing 25,000, you're doing good. Any other questions? Okay. Now on the next page, we're going to show you the business plan template. Okay. We're going to give all the. Jason Earl, he's a professor here, a visiting professor here on campus. He used to be in BYU, Idaho. He taught non-business majors how to make a business plan, present it, how to do the financials, and how to do it really professionally. So we asked him if he would let us use those files, and these are what we're using. So it talks about the 10 key areas to cover in a new venture presentation. Okay. Go through those. Those should be the bread and butter of your presentation. Use graphs. Use numbers. Show visuals in these presentations. These are excellent. But also make sure you hit just about every point that you possibly can in these. I think it'll really round out your plans. It'll really round out what you need to say and explain to the judges what you're actually doing. And he's going to be, Jason Earl is our financials workshop next week on Thursday. He'll be letting us know, and he'll go through everything on how to do this and how to do the financials that will be attached with it.
Can I clarify something?
Yes.
Okay, I'm Brother Anderson. So one of the reasons why we go through those last slides about revenues and things is because we've seen problems in the past, especially at the BYU competition, where people come up with amazing things, where maybe someone's uncle started a company a few years ago and it's never been in the competition. So the nephew says, ooh, I'm going to take his thing and present it as my own idea when it's an already working business. The goal is that all of you can create your own ideas make your own companies and thrive and receive all this extra prize money as funding and things like that. So everyone has a level playing field that way. No one has an advantage of someone's trying to slide in a company that's been running for years and doing really, really well and call it their own, right? Any questions on that? You all understand the reasons? Great.
Also, I put up there, use the Writing Center. That's another valuable tool. They'll help you go through it and help you and make sure it's a professional level, a high quality of writing, and that it's just top-notch. Any questions on the business plan template? This template, I know last year we had 2 different templates, one for SE and one for the domestic and international. So this year we're going to combine them because this is the bulk of what you need to know. It doesn't matter just regardless. This is what you need to put down. Okay. As of that, I mean, we're basically done. The rest of the portions in this packet, these will all be things you need to sign and have dated, have gone through. There's an excellent checklist, so you need to have these things included in your plan. The entry eligibility disclosure, that's actually the first one you should really look at. Go through that, think about your idea if you've already got it, or go through this when you do have your idea, and go through this checklist. Okay, do I have 50% of my team BYUH students? Have we had over $25,000 in revenue? Okay, just go through the checklist so that you know that when you hand in, you do all this hard work, and you go up at 5 o'clock on that Wednesday night, and on March 6th, and you hand us this, and we'll go through this with you. Did you do this? Did you do this? Okay, and if you say no to these, this is the eligibility disclosure. We're going to have to make some changes and maybe not be able to participate. So that would be sad to do all that work and not have that go through.
I just mentioned.
Yeah.
I'll be close enough to your microphone too. Okay, let me just mention 2 other things just kind of globally that are important for you to recognize. One, we do have the same template for whichever category you're in, but the judging criteria is still a little different for those that are doing social entrepreneurship. Let me just define that for you that are going, what is social entrepreneurship? Social entrepreneurship is doing good in the world, and there's 2 kinds of social entrepreneurship. Doing good in the world that are nonprofit, and there can be doing good in the world where you can make a profit. But any kind of entity still needs to be able to become sustainable, even those that are based upon a lot with some charitable cause. So we want and we'll be looking specifically, can your project grow? We want you to be thinking big, scalability. You may think big, start small, but make plans to grow and be big. Okay, scalability. You will be clearly judged on that, whether it's all in the judging criteria. The judges themselves will want to know, is this truly a viable, meaning could this really happen? And 2, is it scalable? Okay, whether it's social or a regular type of business plan. Let me add the second point besides that, that's a little different this year than some of you that may have been involved last year. And that is, we really want you, and you will be judged even more this year than in the past, about getting out of the building. Meaning, don't just write a piece of paper. Get out of the building and survey. Try it out. Do a prototype. Ask questions. Is this something a customer would like? And as you do that, you're going to find, oh, maybe I need to change it a little bit. It's what you'd call pivoting. Just like a basketball player. You may have to turn a little bit and maybe go a little different direction because customers are telling you, we don't want to pay this, or we don't like this, but if you do this, we like it. Okay? This is a key part of what we want you to be trying to do with it. So not just written plan that you go, this sounds good. Part of that aspect, besides surveying, is we are requiring, as last year, that everybody have a mentor. Mentor, somebody that you go to that helps coach you a little bit, hopefully somebody maybe in the area of what you're doing. If you're going to do a retail store, try and get somebody that's run a retail store. have her or him give you some of the things. Learn from their mistakes or learn from their keys of success. Okay? Get that to help you. Okay? I think that's all in there already, but I'm giving you a little bit of emphasis, and I'm going to throw out one other thing related to this, related to the overall scope of being a winner. It's got to be something that makes some coherent strength, and there is a need for financials. Those of you that were in the guest lecture series today understand there is something to do with numbers and money that all ventures need. I don't care if you're considered, oh, it's a nonprofit. I don't want profit for myself. That's fine, but everything takes some money to run, okay? And part of that is having some financials. So please come next week, and there'll be some aspect of accounting. If you don't have somebody on your team right now, recruit them. Get somebody to help you, okay? Whether it's maybe making your web page, helping you understand some of your financials. Get other people involved. Learn from your mentors and people on your team. This is, like I say, only some of you are going to win the cash prizes. But all of you, if you employ some of what we're talking about, you're going to take away something that you'll use somewhere in your life. In that 25 years, over 80% of you are probably going to do something entrepreneurial. So take advantage of it while you have the chance. Okay?
Yeah. I'm just going to show you on, go to page, thank you for that. I'm going to talk about a little bit what he just said here. If you go to page 4, it's going to say judging at the top. Here's the judging rubric. I'm going to show you where we put that, the number that what we're changing to from last year to this year. If you look at under the international and domestic categories, the third one down, it says marketability and potential for growth or replication, including market research and surveys. Last year, this category was at 15%. We've upped it to 20%, and we've taken down some other ones so that we can make this move to getting out of the building, to go and do your research and go do your surveys. Make sure that people want your product. Okay, make sure that you're going to have buyers, and make sure that there is a certain problem that you will be fixing with your new venture. Also, I'm going to give you my story of what happened to me last year. Okay, I was working on this competition as just one of the members of the committee, helping out and trying to get this conference up last year, and I was like, okay, well, I want to do a business plan too. And I have already had something going for a little while, and I said, okay, well, I can use that model, and I can do this and this and this, and I'll put it on paper, and man, it'll be so good. And I'm going to win the whole thing. And that was me, naive, and that was me, and I got, over busy in this course of the semester, and it came to the deadline, and I said, oh, shoot. I looked at my paper, and I had like 1 page. And so I spent the next 15 hours, literally, I wrote my whole entire business plan in 15 hours, and I think I was like 30 seconds late handing it in, and luckily I think one of the members of the center, they let me in, they just barely, and they, wrapped me on the hand and said, but then I handed it in, I was so excited, I was like, okay, well, if I can get that in, then I can go present myself, because I know if my writing's not that good, I know I can go present and I can go rock them with my presentation, okay? And that was me and my thinking. And I really did. There was a great business plan and everything, but I got the notes back a week later, and I didn't even make it to the semifinal round. I got cut out in the prelims. And so what I want to tell you is that, number one, don't write it on the day before. You should really, especially with the market research that we need to do, you can't go do market research in a period of 15 hours. Okay? Do it now. Start now. Go think about a product, a service that you need to provide. And then go talk to these mentors. We're going to have mentors here tonight for the remaining time. I think until like 9 o'clock. If you want to go sit down with one of these mentors, they've given us their time. That if you say, I have this idea, tell me if it'll work. I have this idea, I'm struggling with this. These guys they'll help you. They've all been experienced in business. And so use their skills. Also, if you think about your business and about your plan, you really want to present yourself well. I would give you a key tip. There are people on this campus that are literally doing just about everything. There's technical writers on this campus. There are graphic design majors on this campus. There are IT guys. They can do websites, okay? If you're on your own team right now, probably the biggest help you could do for yourself is to go grab a logo designer, somebody who'll do a logo, somebody who'll do a website, even if you'll just bring them on board. The prize money that you could potentially win, we'll pay that back to them, those students that'll do those things for you. Okay? You put something together, you give a nice presentation, a packet, and you say, this is how far we are. We've got a logo, we've got a framework of a website, we've got, I don't know, start a Facebook fan page. We've got 400 friends on Facebook. Well, that's better than the guy who just said, who worked by himself and didn't have anything to hand in. Those would be my suggestions. Also, my last suggestion would be to use those materials, if you are able to get a logo and things like that, make a business card so that when you come to the conference, you can hand that out to the people that will be judging you. I'm sure that if you put the time and interest into this project and you've done it right and you're really going to go forward, you're going to want those people, those businessmen that we're taking over from the mainland, these high-quality, top-notch businessmen over, and I'm sure you'll want to get to know them. And I'm sure that if you've got something of interest, they'll want to get with you. Okay? If you don't win, that could be your biggest help, is to get and talk with one of these individuals and have them be your mentor.
I think you should tell them the second half of your story. Because you could have had a really crummy plan and you were just fooling yourself that, hey, I'm going to blow the socks off this competition. But you didn't prepare, and so what they saw first was your written business plan, and it wasn't up to par. But in reality, tell them about what happened.
Okay, well, I went home that night. So I was with the Will Center when they told me that I wasn't there. And I was really calm and cool, collected, and I walked home, and I walked to TVA, and I was just like, oh, fire was burning in my veins. I was just like, I was so mad. It's like, who are these guys to tell me that my business plan isn't good? Okay, and so if you don't make it through the prelims, maybe you'll have the same experience. I hope you all make it to the final round, though. But I didn't, so it's okay. You'll still live. But you go through it, and I was so mad. I came home and shaking mad, and my wife was like, she didn't say anything to me. She knew just to stay away and put her headphones in, and I was cried into my pillow. But she doesn't want to hear her husband cry. No. So what happened is I said, okay, well, I'm going to show these guys wrong, because I had never put myself out there. My plan had been a hobby that I wanted to turn into a business. And I think there's a couple local people. You're from Southern Alberta. Are you from Southern Alberta? No? Okay, you're not. Okay, there's a couple people that might know. But so what I did is I took a hobby and I turned it into a business, because I was so determined to tell these people that they were wrong. Okay? So what I did, I did sports camps. And I just did volleyball. I just had a lot of fun doing a volleyball camp. I'd bring in a coach. What I did is, after this competition, I said, okay, we're going to get this thing going. I'm going to show these guys they're all wrong. And I don't need their money. I'm going to go do this by myself. And so what I did is I contacted a few other people. We grew the camp. Instead of just doing volleyball, we did football and we did dance. Extremely successful. We had a blast. I had feedback from all the campers that came. They loved it. They loved the coaches. The coaches, I asked them how they felt about it. They had a blast. We had a revenue-breaking year. We set records. We grew, and so this year we're adding on rugby and basketball. Rugby is one of the fastest growing sports in Canada right now, and we're actually pretty good at the national level. But there's a huge push, and we're going to go provide those services. And you know what? That all came because I didn't get in. So it drove me to succeed and drove me to change what I was doing, and it put the fire in my belly to go make it happen. And so that's my story of a failure to somewhat success. I'm not a millionaire yet, so I guess I'm not that successful, but I really do. This is an excellent conference, a competition and a conference, because not only that, you're going to go present your plans, but we're going to be bringing these people over, and they're going to speak to you, and they're going to talk to you about their businesses, how they failed or how they succeeded, what they learned. And you're going to go through it. I mean, it's like Brother Tanner's a lecture series on steroids. Because what we do is we take these wonderful people, we pack them in a room, and we say, here you go. You have 20 minutes to tell to tell the students what you know and all you know. Tell us about what you've gained. We have 20 minutes, like a power blast, it's like a TED Talk, and we just go one after another, and you walk out of there and you're on top of the world. Okay? That's why we do this, and so that we invigorate you as entrepreneurs, as businessmen, and we can go forward and do some great things. So that's the end of the presentation, the workshop tonight.
I have one other thing. I just got a text. I want to clarify something.
Yeah.
Okay. We did put it in the written rules, but we really do not want to do food this year. I know that might affect some of you that may already be thinking of that. We want you to be thinking of something bigger than just a food. So we would prefer, I mean, if you're really going to do some major production food, like a food manufacturing, we could consider something like that, but we really want something way beyond having another Taco Bell in some other town than Laie. So no food unless you come specifically and talk to me about it being a major scalable food production, okay? I know that a couple of you are probably already thinking of that, but we want you to think bigger. We want you to think bigger, okay? So I'm sorry if that's kind of something that wasn't in the written, but we really want to have you do something bigger than just a small outlet wherever. I know some of you are from a small village and you're going, oh, I want to do, I want to have shaved ice, or I want to do food in my little village back in wherever it is. We don't want that, okay? Think of something bigger. Think of something that may start small but can be bigger. I give the example, maybe you are from Tonga and you want to do a store in your village, but the real plan that you should be presenting here is, okay, maybe you start in your home village, but your plan should show within the next 18 months you're in 2 or 3 more villages. Think a little bigger, even if it's something of that nature, okay? We can have projects here. We have one, I think, that we'll still see one of our winners from last year. I think he's going to make over $1 million. I've told him that. And it's a for-profit social entrepreneurship. So seriously, think big and no food this year, okay? Sorry, guys. That's just something we want to do this year, okay?
Okay. Sorry. Just a couple last things. Okay, if you haven't signed up, please go sign up with your team and your members over there. Also, we have, and the February 7th and the February 28th, our workshops are mandatory. We do want you there. It doesn't mean your whole team has to be there, just one, okay? Just bring one of your team members if you can't come. But these are going to be so important that you're just all going to want to come.
That they're mandatory.
Yeah, no. So just so you know, they are mandatory. And as of right now, we have some mentors that if you want to go talk to them right now and get your plan and your ideas going right now. So they're here.
We're doing registration still.
And registration. Okay, thanks for coming. Appreciate your time.